Hey guys, Jay Pearson here. I wanted to talk to you about one of the lean principles we follow, which is not one of the 8 wastes. It's not any of the residual stuff. It's the goal of lean, which is flow. We want to establish flow in our processes around the company. So I wanted to start out by giving you a tour of our shipping department. It's kind of like we try and make it the epitome of flow, because it's something we do often, we do every day, and when we come in after the weekends, we've got a lot of stuff to ship. So let's take a look. So over here, we have a cellular structure. So all the things here is for our pallet system. Things back here is our vacuum system, left and right. I'll explain that in a second. And then our Rotovice system and all the other components, raw components that we assemble back here. We have our boxes down here at the end. Our boxes are all labeled, they're tagged, they have little things on them like 1320 starter, 1320 top plate. Why do we do that? We do that so it's easy. We're just trying to establish some type of flow that makes things just go normal. We work 40 hours a week. We don't want to struggle during those 40 hours. After we pick those boxes, we've established flow where we have our tape dispenser. We have our workbench where we do all the packaging. We have our packing supplies down there and up there. Pretty straightforward. Just grab it, arm's reach. Once we slide down here, we have our scales, our computer, printer, and back there is our UPS labels and postal service labels. We do all this in two types of setups. There's cellular and there is linear. This is a kind of cellular where we have the cells of the different product lines, and we have linear. There's also this thing here that I said I'd mention. This is our hot shelf. All the items on this shelf here are our most commonly ordered items. And the reason that we put it here is because when we simply turn around, there's right smack dab center of the assembly table, and we don't have to do a lot of wasted motion getting those 20 most commonly ordered items. So we always want to do that just to make life and work flow a little bit better. So here we have Jerry assembling, also linear. We have James doing some setup. Now, whenever we do assembly, it is either like a linear or cellular. We have all the tools right at hand. So when we're assembling our vacuum units, we have all the items right there, all our tools, all the hardware, and we can just flow this. If you look at the bench long ways, we have a couple minis, and we're flowing it from left to right, just trying to make things easy. Let's walk out here to our production cells. I'll give you a wide shot of the facility. So this manufacturing unit is pretty much linear. It's linear, but at the same time it's cellular, just in the positioning of the machines. Like for example, behind me we have our VF4. It's currently running our vacuum chucks, and we have starting stack in production and a cart when we're going to be we're short on carts. We got to buy more carts. When that cart is free, it'll come right back here, and we will create a cell. I'll just show you. So down here is an empty cart, which used to hold raw material. We have the machine, and then we have our finished stack. And so the whole time, we're trying to work in a cellular manner. Behind me, we have the VF2A, and it's also working in a cellular manner. So we have our starting, you're catching us at the end of production. We had the raw material stack, the machine, the finished material stack. Back here on the mini mill, we're doing a setup. We have, now this doesn't need to be cellular, because we just finished this production. This used to be the raw. Red is for raw, gray is for in process or finished. And so we don't really need to set up a cell to the left and right because it's a mini mill. It's small. It's right there, and we just keep making parts so we don't have to waste motion moving around. Machines that kind of feed themselves, like the lathes. We have our raw materials over here. We've got a custom little raw material here. Let me come on this side. Raw material rack. Kind of looks like a, I don't know, grenade launcher type thing. But it's right by the side of the machine. And of course we're running some bigger material right here. So we can just squeeze in here and load it into the draw tube. But point being, we just want to make things simple. We want to make things flow. We want to make things easy. Everything we need should be in arm's reach. Another lathe, start and finish stack, our tooling. My guy just got done doing a setup, so that cart's there. We're not grinding today, at least in this hour, but we have our grinder, we have our cart. And so if you look down here from this perspective, you start to see all the cells kind of set up, all the parts. You have back right here, a cell, back there, cell, over here, cell. So we're not walking around the facility wasting time trying to move parts. When we're done with production on one machine, we don't have to carry a bunch of stuff. We simply roll it. We roll it across the aisle. Like I said, this is a linear setup, but we've set up the machines in a way that they don't have to. You don't have to go far. Like for example, the VF4SS, it only makes our vacuum chuck products, and it doesn't feed other machines and is not fed by other machines. There are some exceptions, like when we just got done using our Rotovice to make the valve side portion or vacuum power units, and once we're done, that's why that cart got rolled over right over to the mini mill, and then we continue production like that. So the name of the game is flow. We establish flow by not misusing brain power. We want to think of better ways to do things, better ways, actually things that bug us. If something is bugging us, that's a problem. We just need to tackle it. We need to fix it. Also, we want to reduce our wasted motion. We don't want to transport stuff. The way I define transportation is anything that gets moved outside of the company. Wasted motion, anything that gets moved inside of the company. And so like these things here, eventually they'll get anodized. We want to keep them in that gray bin, red bin to gray bin from every stage. So at the next point, these go to pre-assembly, which they get bead blasted, disassembled, and then they go to anodize, and they travel in these boxes every step of the way. And then the last step is laser engraving. And the whole time, we are not separating those parts from the bin that they should be in. We got more, oh yeah, I just noticed this. Got more parts ready to go. Those are gonna be, they're in staging right now, so they're gonna go into the mini mill next. And I bet you this is empty, and it sure is. There's nothing in there because we've pre-staged that guy for the next operation or the next assignment that our machine is gonna have. So that is flow. That's something that can be done in any shop. You don't need a clean shop. You don't need a new shop. You don't need epoxied floors. It may take a little bit of money to move machines around or a lot of elbow grease to move stuff. But man, I'll tell you, it is so worth it when you have things flowing in the shop. It's just incredible how flow affects things.